Welcome to our acute illness module demonstration for E-Heza. This module is created for community health workers to allow them to quickly identify, isolate, and refer community members suspected of having COVID-19, while also allowing them to continue to safely provide care for non-COVID related conditions. Each user is assigned a user type that describes her or his permission to access health information. For example, a nurse at Rankuba Health Center can access health information for all community members in the health center's catchment area. A community health worker in one of the 50 villages associated with Rankuba Health Center, however, can only access the villages where she is assigned. So in this case, I am a community health worker and I sign in. And I'm going to, these are one of the 3 villages. I will choose Ruganda. And I can choose between an individual encounter or a group encounter. In Rwanda, it is common for community health workers to conduct nutrition assessments for children under 5 in group settings. A future video will demonstrate the functionality of the group assessments, but for today we will move forward with the individual encounter. We can then select the options. In this case, we have acute illness or child nutrition. And here we will choose a patient. We're going to choose Ariella. And we'll choose a first acute illness encounter. And then you are taken to a tray that has a series of activities: symptom review, exposure travel history, prior treatment history, and physical exam. If there are a fever is documented either in the symptom review or on physical exam, a laboratory icon will appear that will allow the CHW to document the results of a rapid diagnostic test for malaria. So here we will click on symptom review. Takes us to 3 main categories: general, respiratory, or gastrointestinal. And we'll say that Ariella has had a fever for 5 days and night sweats for 2 days. She has had a cough for 3 days, and she has not had any gastrointestinal symptoms. Then we'll go to the exposure history, and I do want to mention that while all of this is in English, the CHWs can conduct everything in Kenya, Rwanda. As you can see, it has all been translated. We will switch back to English for now. So travel history. Have you traveled to any country or district in Rwanda known to have COVID-19 in the past 14 days? We will say no. Have you had contact with others who exhibit symptoms or have been exposed to COVID-19? And we'll say here yes. So now this meets the criteria from the Rwanda Ministry of Health and WHO guidelines for a COVID-19 suspect. The CHW is immediately warned of this. She's advised to isolate the family and contact the health center or 114 immediately. So here it will guide the CHW on what to do. Have you isolated the patient? Yes. Have you posted signs on the door? Yes. Have you provided health education or anticipatory guidance? We'll say yes. And in this case, in the next iteration, we will have a link to a context-specific or relevant video that a CHW can link to and show to her patient to provide more complete anticipatory and health education information. Now, in Rwanda, the advice is to first call 114. If the CHW wants to click on this icon, it will give a list of the signs and symptoms that generated the COVID-19 warning. But here we will say that the CHW was able to contact 114 and describe the signs and symptoms. The question is, what was their response? They said to the CHW to send the patient to the nearest health center. And then the question is next, did you contact the recommended site, in this case, the health center? We'll say yes. And then what was that site's recommendation? And the team from the health center will come to the village to escort the patient to the health center. We'll say that, and we'll save. This then generates a comprehensive progress report that highlights the clinical assessment, currently a suspected COVID-19 case, a timeline of symptoms, and the actions that have been taken at the community level. When a nurse signs into the system to take care of Ariella at the health center level, she will be able to enter information into the same encounter, and this progress report will continue to populate and be available both to the community, at the community level and at the health center level. Now, we could end the encounter here, but instead, I'd like to go back and make some changes. So let's say that Ariella did not have any contact exposure. So now she's no longer meeting the criteria for COVID-19 suspect. And part of that is because she has fever and other symptoms that could also be malaria. So this takes us down the path of allowing us to continue the evaluation. First, we will ask if they have given her any medication in the past 6 hours to treat fever. Have they received any malaria medication in the past month or even today? And we'll say no. Then we'll do a physical exam. And let's say that her respiratory rate is 40 and her body temperature is 39 degrees Celsius. It also allows the CHW to assess for physical signs of danger signs such as lethargy, poor suck, jaundice. We're going to say no. And these are all signs that the CHWs have been trained in looking for. We'll say there are no acute danger signs. So now, because there was a fever, we are taken to the malaria rapid diagnostic test. Now, there are two pathways here. One is that her test is negative. In that case, the risk of this being COVID-19 is elevated. And so this takes us down the same COVID-19 path that we discussed previously. But now instead, let's change the results of that test to a positive test. Now, the assessment has changed. It is now malaria without complications. So we'll click this, and it will take us down another path. Now, it will tell us what we need to do for Ariella. Because it is malaria without complications, the CHWs in Rwanda will dispense Coartem. It will provide the dosing that is appropriate for the age of the child. And then you can choose between either yes, you have administered the medication, or no. If you click no, it will list out the options of why, including lack of stockouts or patient refusal. And this allows us to track the reasons that malaria may not be treated. We will click no. And it will give us the option of documenting why. So in this case, it will be lack of stock. We'll save. And then we will get the same progress report with the same information, including the assessment and the timeline of symptoms and physical exam. And again, this can be viewed in both English and in Kenya, Rwanda. Thank you very much for your time, and stay tuned for more videos.